Hi everyone. It's been a while. Sorry that I've been gone for quite a bit. A lot has changed in my life in the past. I guess it's been a month or almost 2 months, maybe, since I've been gone. I moved house, so that was a lot. And I also went on a work trip. I went on a work trip to India for 2 weeks. So it was a very impromptu business trip, and we had only planned it maybe a month before we went on the trip itself. So I didn't have kind of the time, and also we were moving house, so there was just a lot of stuff going on where I wasn't able to plan ahead of time to make videos. So the setup kind of looks the same, but I'm in a new apartment, which is really fun. I do not live in Amsterdam anymore. I moved to a different city. And yeah, I just wanted to, I guess, give a mini update on maybe why I haven't been uploading videos. But today I thought it would be fun, since it's the tail end of February, or actually it is the last day. Yeah, no, we still have tomorrow. I'm recording on the 27th of February, but I kind of wanted to show how I've been using this 5-year techo, because from a very old, I think, sorry, not very old video. It's from January, or I guess maybe end of December. But I did make a video about my lineup for 2026, and this techo was the one that I was most excited about. And I wanted to give an update on how that's going. Spoiler, or TLDR, I love it, but it's not perfect. But I will go through that yeah, in this video. I've also not made a video in a while, so I feel a bit nervous talking. And I hope there's not a lot of reverb, because in our new apartment there's a lot of open space because it's a loft, which means that the ceiling is very high, and we don't really have, I mean, we have furniture of course, but not a lot. Yes, I will proceed. So to start, every time you buy a 5-year techo, you do get these, you get one sheet of, scrap paper, I guess, of the layout. And I had watched another video before, because I'd watched so many videos about the 5-year, because I was wanting to prep myself for it when I used it. And I'll put the source in the description, but this video, they were talking about, if you kind of lose inspiration for what you want to do in your post, in your pages, you should have some kind of a guideline of things for you to look at, to think, oh yeah, I can use like different types of headers, different inspiration, or things that you've kind of prepared beforehand for you to template, copy, paste in a way into your daily log, or into your daily, wow, I really can't speak English anymore. Maybe I should have prepped a little bit for this video, but you guys, you all know what I mean, right? Yeah. So I did make some. I have some headers here. I've actually not really used this yet, but I have lost, I still have to catch up. That, like, the 2 weeks that I was in India, I did not do any daily what do I call this, like writing in my 5-year. I did not write really. I think I did the first 2 days, but I will show that. But yes, I think the idea for this was kind of, when you run out of ideas or you don't know what to do, it's nice to refer to this and be like, oh yeah, I can just do something like this. I think to reduce that mental friction of having to think of something. So I have that, and it's always in there. But I can start. So I've not really used this future log. I think that's what it's called. Not really for anything. I don't really use this yearly view. Yeah, okay, then we can just start on the first. So of course, when you start a new planner or a journal, you're very excited. So you have a lot of, energy to always be working on it, because, new year, new you. So I really like this spread. It's very emblematic of my attitude towards this beginning this 5-year journal. So I was very happy and I really liked. I don't know if I've kind of replicated this. I don't remember. I do want to credit, I did take this idea from someone where you have a little stamp and then you put just like random, well, not random information, but a specific type of information. So here I had how many degrees it was, where I was, and how I was feeling. And since it's the new year, I was feeling very hopeful. So I really enjoy this spread. Yeah. On day 2, I was already I think that's the joy of it. I mean, on day 2, I was like, not much was happening during the day. So what do I write about? So that was interesting, hitting kind of that block already, even on the second day. I did write not just kidding unless, but luckily, like, I played Dispatch that day. Very good game. I would really recommend it. It's more of like a visual novel style game, which is kind of my preferred genre of games. I tend to play, I play a lot of otome games, for example. And yeah, visual novels are kind of my favorite genre. But I honestly recommend it to people who are also not, because it's like a very modern type of visual novel because it has like mini games and stuff that are very engaging and all the characters are awesome. And there's some really amazing people who have voice acted for this game. Anyway, do recommend it. And I've also thought it'd be nice to see, like, in this kind of view, like, what am I playing? I'm very kind of inconsistent. Like, I don't know. I don't really plan or to think about what I'm going to write in here. But, oh yes, this, I had a Twilight marathon with some friends that I made from work. And yeah, we were having a sleepover and we just watched the Twilight Saga, one of my favorite series of all time. Also, like, I have the same name as the main character, so when I read it as a child, I did a lot of self-inserting. So I'm very team Edward, even from the start, from the very beginning. But it's always fun. Like, I think I will really enjoy looking back in the future what I did. This was the day that it was snowing a lot. And then I also was reading, I've read Midnight Sun a few times, but I feel it feels very apt or apropos to do a Midnight Sun read whenever I watch Twilight. It feels appropriate. And I honestly prefer, maybe not honestly, but I really enjoy Edward's version or his POV. It's super angsty and dramatic, and I think you also get to see his interaction with the Cullen family, of course, and that's a lot of where the fun is, because you kind of just read that Rosalie's so up herself because she's always thinking about herself only, and other interesting interactions. But yes, I had actually copied this from my header inspo, so that already helps. It's super fun and it looks really, really pretty. I really like how it turned out. I ate lunch with 2 good friends, well, my good friend and then her partner, who I met for the first time. But I also wanted to incorporate like what I ate, and I say I like drawing, but it does not necessarily mean I'm good at it. I just like sketching. So I think I also wanted to use this 5-year in a way to kind of track my drawing skill and if it improves. Like, not that I kind of go out of my way to draw all the time. It's just something I do if the opportunity or when I feel like it. But that's also another thing that, yeah, like this one, I really hate this drawing. I did try something and I was trying to draw my dinner and it did not come out nicely. But you know what? Practice is progress. Like this is a lot better than that. But for me, I think it's difficult to draw texture, especially when I don't use color and I have no idea how artists do it. I mean, that's what practice is for, right? Yeah. Yes, a 4-star stylist card came out and it was freaked as hell. I don't know if any of my other viewers, I do know some subscribers do play Love and Deep Space because they mention it in the comments. So I just want to talk about how like insane this card was. And I wonder if I'm still going to be playing Love and Deep Space 5 years from now. It's also another question. Yeah, I did get sick in January, so I just wrote down that I was sick and some symptoms that I had. Sometimes what I want to put in this right page is very much a question mark, and I don't know if I want to fill it. Sometimes I feel like it's okay to skip it. And honestly, I think that is okay. You know, we don't have to fill it in all the time because we still have 4 more years to fill things up. This is just a song that I was listening to. And I think it also made me think about what music will I listen to this year. Because I kind of listen to the same 5 songs over and over again. I'm very one note that way because listening to new things really freaks me out. And I really need to, for some reason, I really have to mentally prepare to engage with something new. So I have been, like, if you look at my Last FM, my music taste has been pretty consistent and there's no new artists. Only if something sounds really catchy or it's like an earworm, as from TikTok or something. Otherwise, I kind of listen to the same rotation of artists frequently. This was really fun, and also I'm very disappointed in my drawings. The food turned out way better than how these drawings looked. But my friend, she's Ukrainian, and she has this thing where every few months she invites people over who are not Ukrainian to explore Ukrainian cuisine. So her and her roommates make like a 3-course meal to kind of showcase Ukrainian food. And it was so good. I really enjoy things like this, and this kind of really made my January because I've not really eaten Ukrainian food before, and it's not really a culture that I'm familiar with. So it was really nice to kind of learn about Ukrainian food and, you know, what is kind of like the food that they eat. Another one from the inspo list. I think it's the exact same design. But yeah, this was just a relaxed day. I think some days I just write what I did. So when it's quiet, I try to just say, yeah, this is what I did. What am I doing? This is also, I started talking about going to India for work. Oh yeah, I might blur out this page because I feel like you might be able to figure out where I live based on this spread. But I did accept the rental offer. I am living in Rotterdam now, so that's something new. I did get so it's a new ink day, but it's an old ink that I bought at the Dutch pen show, but I have decided to ink. I think I have talked about it in previous videos before, but it's the Ginzan Snow Gray from Hachimonjia. And I put it inside. It feels very fitting for the blue on blue in the Kakuno. I think this is just fine. I did want to try, see, this is the annoying thing when all my stationery is back in Sydney. I have so many Kakuno FPs back home, but I can't tell my mom to just pack some stationery and then pay $100 in shipping to send them to me. Like, it just, and I don't want to buy new ones. So I don't want to buy new FPs of like the Kakuno, for example, because I have so many already back at home. But yeah, this one was kind of an exception since it was limited edition, but you know, The ink is very beautiful. You can't really see, it's a very diluted kind of look. I think because I'm using the Kakuno Fine, so the color doesn't come out, because you can see here it's quite a dark gray when it's concentrated, but it's quite a different feel, of course, when it's actually in the fountain pen. But I really like the ink itself. It's very pretty, and I've been using it also in my everyday. This is when I was watching Culinary Class Wars Season 2. I had just, like, I think on this day when I started, I think the finale just aired. And I've watched maybe most of the episodes except for the last two or something. So I still need to catch up. But I love this show so much. I don't think it's as good as season 1, actually, but I think that's just because I really like Edward Lee. But this show was so, like, I really love watching it, so I mentioned. And this was my favorite meal. It was the perilla oil noodles. I think this is from episode 1. Might be from episode 1 or episode 2. But I remember he got who made it? I didn't even write who made it, but he was the one from one of the white shirts. White shirts. The white chefs from the previous season that got eliminated like super early, and he wanted to prove himself. And then he also ended up getting eliminated again. But I really enjoyed this one the most, like watching it. So I wanted to remember it. Okay, I think this might be the first page where I didn't put anything on the right. And I think that's fine. I had this tin fish. Yeah, I'm saying I'm in my tin fish era. I really like fish, but I've kind of really only eaten canned tuna for most of my life and haven't really explored other types of tin fish. Not because I didn't want to, but because I just always ate canned tuna. But I've really tried, like this year, I'm really trying to explore different tin fish. Also because that person on TikTok, Day with May, I think is their name. And they are kind of like the figurehead of tin fish talk. But yes, I've tried this new brand and I really liked it. The mackerel fillet from Arnold Sorensen. I think that's a Danish name or not. Don't know if I pronounced it correctly, but I really enjoyed this one. I'm also still trying to learn how to eat tin fish, like in a nice way, like, you know, with bread or with chips, like how to eat it to really appreciate the full flavor of what's going on in the tin. This one is just a regular, I guess, daily journal. Oh yes, so the friends that I watched the Twilight Saga with, we hung out and did another sleepover to watch Pride and Prejudice because one of our friends hadn't seen it. It was her first time. And for everyone else, we've watched this movie a billion times. So it's really just a joy. I also should have written, because we had hot pot for dinner and for breakfast as left, like we hot pot also for breakfast because of the leftovers from the dinner. I think I should have also written that, but this was a really fun day. Yes, so this was the Love and Deep Space 2-year anniversary, and I also couldn't believe I've been playing this game for 2 years straight. Like, where has the time gone? I've been living in the Netherlands the whole time I've been playing Love and Deep Space. That's crazy to me. But yes, I wanted to commemorate that. And I also watched 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. I still firmly, like, I really enjoyed this movie, but I firmly believe that the first one with Cillian Murphy is the best 28 movie. 28 Days Later is the one that I'm talking about. But I think if I had to pick, like, in order, the first one would definitely be 28 Days Later, and then I would say 28 Years Later, part 1, and then part 2, this one, and then last is, or honestly, it's not even worth putting on the list, the second one, 28 months. Was it 28 months later? I don't know, something. Yeah, 28 months. I think something like the director, was it the first director for the first movie director, someone was like, we're retconning, or like we're just like collectively forgetting that the second movie ever existed. And I was like, yep, I can get along with that kind of with that kind of canon. You know, it's just like a different universe. But I really enjoyed 28 years later. Yes, it's an uneventful day, and this is a drawing of a couch that I wanted to buy, but maybe was on the fence for my partner, because this is kind of like a futon style sleeping, like a sofa bed. So yeah, sofa bed. But I really liked how it looked, so I wanted to remember it. We didn't end up buying it. We just bought an IKEA couch instead. Also for like a bit cheaper, because this was definitely not cheap. Yes, my partner challenged me to not read manhwa for 1 week, and I succeeded. Yeah, well, I was talking about like day 2. I don't think I did beyond day 2, but we'll see. But yeah, busy time. Yeah, day 3 of no manhwa challenge, I'm coping. It was very difficult in the beginning, but I think what helped was halfway through the challenge, I had to go to India for my business trip. So that just made it a lot easier to not read manhwa, because I was kind of working the whole time. Yeah, lots of packing, because also we're getting ready to move. See, this one's empty, and I think that's fine. I lasted 24 days before writing something. I'm just gonna blow my nose. Okay. So I'm proud of myself. Yeah, and this was my flight. So I went from Amsterdam to Abu Dhabi to Chennai, which was the city in India where I had my work trip. Day 1 in Chennai. I'm so sorry if you, I think this is Tamil. If you can read Tamil and I've like kind of butchered the writing, I'm so sorry. I try to make it as as accurate as possible. Yeah. And then I think day 2 in Chennai. Also apologies again for the poor penmanship of the Tamil. And then see, this was where I fell off, because I think the first 2 days I was committed, but then every single day in our business trip, we were coming home really late, like 11, sometimes even 12, and I just shower and go to sleep because I was so tired. You have to get up at like 7, 8 the next morning. So I think it's really difficult when you're on a business trip, because you kind of have to be socially and mentally on always, and that's really taxing, and you're kind of seeing your co-workers all the time, which also was like, it was a lot, especially since I'm kind of surrounded by old Dutch people and I'm not old or Dutch. But it was fun. It was really fun. And yeah, just keep going until, yeah, I think the whole trip I didn't write anything. I do want to catch up, because I do want to remember the memories. When I came back, I was offered a permanent contract, which was awesome considering I've been on the singular like 1 year. So I think it's nice now that I feel comfortable I'm not going to get fired, because luckily the Netherlands has really strong labor laws. So thanks, Netherlands, and thank you to my job for getting me a permanent contract. Yeah, I'm gonna blur that out because that's my previous address, and I don't know how, like, you could probably find where I live now based on my old address. I don't know if you can actually do that, but yeah, I took this day off so that we could clean up the rest of our apartment before, giving in the keys. Mitsuki pre-sale, I got tickets, so that's awesome. I'm really disappointed in the venue though, because it's ahhh. It's a lot bigger than her previous venue when she came in 2014, not 2013. Sorry, not 2014. That was a long time ago. 2024. But yeah, she was in Kare, which was a really beautiful venue, and I was able to be I was 4 rows from the front last time, and I went both nights as well. So unfortunately in ahhh there's standing, and there's no way in hell that I'm standing for any concert here in the Netherlands because everyone here is just too tall and I'm too short. So we got like I think like one of the first few rows for like the tribune, which is just after the standing area. So this was the couch that we bought. Very poor. I really need to figure out how to draw perspective properly because I can't. I also skipped this day. I have no idea what happened on this day. And that's also fine. Let's be comfortable with leaving things blank. I'm so sorry if you can hear background noise. I live just opposite like a kid's playground, so you can always hear them playing. Yeah, I had dinner in South Holland, in Limburg. It was very fun. It was my first time really being in like really, really south of the Netherlands, like where Limburg. It's very Catholic down there. There's a lot of churches, and I was seeing, you know, Jesus on the cross, which I've not seen in my whole 3 years here in the Netherlands. And like living in Amsterdam is just, you know, too religious, you know, which is, you know, it's fine. Another snow day. I also wasn't writing things on the right side, which, yeah, is also fine. We got takeaway on this day, and I think a few days ago was the Super Bowl performance by Bad Bunny. So I really liked, is it DTMF? I think that's the title of the song. I really liked that song, so I wrote some like the lyrics. It was the same four lines repeated, but I really liked that song. Yeah, I delivered 2 post-crossing cards. Highly recommend. It's very fun doing post-crossing. Nothing much happened on this day, and this is just me trying to draw an illustration that I have on my wall. Yes. Also another, like, I find that most days in my life, especially since I work a traditional 9 to 5 job, there's not going to be much to write about, you know, which is fine. But I think, where was I going with that train of thought? I think that just drawing random stuff also is really good to put in your 5-year techo, especially if, like, I sometimes find myself not being the journaling type of person, like someone who writes down every thought that I have. I feel like it's quite confronting, which may be something that needs a little let's unpack that moment, but I don't want to be too personal on my 5-year. But yeah, no, drawing of a Toyo toolbox that I got in the matcha. That's also nice. Yep. Also just talking about my life. This was a a TikTok that I found so funny, so I wanted to remember it. It was just like this girl, day 5, no chips. I think I'm gonna die in this house. Sorry, it's probably not funny to most people, but it was really funny to me. One of my friends, they wouldn't call me their friend, but I would call them my friend. They recommended Mugenics. I know, I just want to preface that the name is kind of, oh my gosh, but it's a game on Steam. It's an it's an RTS game where you kind of collect a bunch of cats and then you go out in the wild with the cats and then you fight other cats. So I think that's kind of the long and short of it. It's very fun. I've only played a little bit because I've not had the time, but I would recommend. It's quite enjoyable if you have Steam. I have to catch up on these 2 days because I went to Groningen to visit a friend who's actually also from Sydney. She's not from Sydney, she's from Wollongong, or the Gong, but from New South Wales. And we actually used to work together, but then I found out on LinkedIn that she moved to the Netherlands for a year. So I messaged her on LinkedIn, and I generally don't like LinkedIn, but I'm on it to, yeah, I don't want to lie and say, you know, I mean, the reason why I'm on LinkedIn is so I can see how other people are doing in their job, which is such a the fact that I said it out loud, I shouldn't care, but in this way, I was able to catch up with someone that I briefly worked with when I was living in Sydney still, and now we're really good friends because and I would not have found that without LinkedIn. So in some ways, I'm grateful that LinkedIn exists for that reason. But yeah, I have to document that, and I really want to. So that's on my backlog. Yeah, just also another journal type post. I had the Toowoomba. So in South Korea, there was this trend, or like some restaurant had something called Toowoomba noodles. And Toowoomba is a place in Australia, and the name has no correlation at all with the dish, like the noodles, but it was just called Toowoomba noodles. I think if I'm remembering the story correctly, but I really like Shin Ramyeon. So when I was in the supermarket, I saw that Shin Ramyeon has like a Toowoomba flavor, but here it's called Toomba, but in Australia it's Toowoomba. So I had to try it, and I actually really liked it. It kind of was giving, if you used to eat the really unhealthy like Kraft mac and cheese with the powder, and then you just put it in the microwave with some water. It kind of tastes like that, but spicy. I mean, it's not super spicy. It's just like a very low amount of spice. Like if you wanted actual spice, you just get like Shin Ramyeon, any other flavor that's not creamy. But I actually really liked it, so I might get it again. Yes, I got a Smitsky, sorry, Smisky. I got a Smisky in the mail. Well, I bought a bunch of Smiskies actually, but he's on my desk. This is volume 2 of the Touchlight series, but it's very sensitive, but also not sensitive. Like you really have to whack it. Yeah, if you want it to turn on, but sometimes it just turns on by the faintest touch. Like, see, I don't know. It's very odd, but very cute. I love it. Oh, sorry, it turned on again. Turn off. See, why is it so finicky? I think that's the one annoying thing about the Touchlight. Oh, it turned on. Turn off. I just hope it doesn't turn on again. And it was also payday, which I love. Yeah. I watched Marty Supreme. It's I did not know what to expect from that kind of movie, but I enjoyed it. I don't really care for Timothée Chalamet, but I think it's because he kind of does a lot of roles where he's like fits his, build and person. But I think he really was very different from the typical things that he's done, at least from what I've seen in Marty Supreme. So I really had a lot of respect for him as an actor in this movie. Like, yes, you can actually act. That's awesome. Because I was looking at Marty in this movie and not thinking of Timothée Chalamet. You know what I mean? When you watch a movie and you kind of can't disconnect the actor from the persona that they're playing or the character that they're playing. But I felt like in Marty Supreme, like this was not Timothy Chalamet, that was Marty Mouse or whatever the name of the character was. It's also about ping pong. I mean, in a way it's about ping pong, but not really. But I really enjoyed the ping pong aspect of it. And it was also the 40-year anniversary since the EDSA People Power uprising. So a little bit of Filipino history, but I really wanted to remember things like this as well. I also have it noted in my, my everyday carry. And then this was yesterday, and I've yet to do today. But this is just all the manhwa that I've been enjoying recently. And then the ones with the hearts are the ones that I like, really, really like, or the ones that I'd say have become favorites of mine. And then I use this Moomin, what is this called? A pencil board. Yes, this Moomin pencil board every time. It's very useful because since the pages are super thin, I really don't want to risk, tearing through it or something. So yeah, that's it. So that's what it's looking like so far. I've watched so many videos and they always say, if you add stickers and stuff, it really bulks it up. So I've kind of just avoided doing that. This page is from, the ink. So it's kind of crumpled. So I think like one-off things like that, like an ink swatch is fine, but I really don't want it to bulk up more than this. Like it's gonna bulk up more from use, of course, but I really want to avoid, having something where the seam is like crinkling and it's, becomes this fat and then it's removed from this thing. So yeah. Oh, okay. That's all for today. I'm hoping to go back to my regular schedule. Unfortunately, my recording setup is not so great now that I've moved, so I'm trying to see if there are better ways for me to film that are not at my desk, because it's not really it's not primarily situated in a nice filming place. But I will see you again in 2 weeks. Thank you so much if you've made it all the way to the end. I appreciate you being here, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.